If you're an Homo sapien, like really, you really self-actualize into being an Homo sapien, how can it not break your heart, right? So this is the work industries, and I'm an Homo sapien, which of course made me secular. It made me a culture bear, by necessity. It made me drop the concept of wanting to be more in cosmology than the social sciences, but I have no choice because it's not anything other than obviously our species that's destroying heaven. So, in heaven, I mean where we come from, our creator, what we belong to, the greater power, the system that we belong to. And you would think, things that I've enjoyed doing since I was a kid, like going to libraries or reading books or getting better at learning and then telling people, there's an error here, and getting the excuses that sometimes we make errors. Well, how about more than sometimes? Like for example, here I'm noticing the DVD I got for season 3 of Voyager has disc 4 to 7. So I'm saying, oh, is it my mistake? And I'm going to see in another place it does say season 3 disc 1 to 4, so they separated it. But then there's also that if you look at these descriptions, it'll mention either not enough information or the summary is the same as more details or summaries and more. And, it's just a copy and paste, and it's not always very well written, let's say. But, it mentions kind of in more details, and this one is called a Star Trek Voyager Season 3 Paramount Home Entertainment. And when I've clicked on it, I don't see anything other than when I pressed more details. It says formatted contents note, and it says all the disk content from 1 to 7. But when I go back to when I click this one, it says, I see now on my account, it says discs 5 to 7. Now, I did see when I did a search that there was a place that said discs 1 to 4, but it's still not well done. And when I had season 2, it all came together. Now, the times that sometimes you'll see a box set of season 1 to 3, but to actually separate the items, it's like, I'll show you something here, okay? And I'll show you that I'm still upset with how they don't fix things. And I've emailed the provincial. They tell me this sometimes, libraries. Oh, why don't you email this? I have. They don't answer. I suspect if you do a master's degree in librarian, you know how to read or write. But, they kind of need to answer. Where is it? I'll show you that for a long time I renewed at my local branch a set that is a book to learn a language and the discs to learn the language. An error that happened with somebody who was fairly polite when he's paying attention, but his mind is going. Now, I'll let you guys decide what you do when somebody's mind is going, because for example, you can keep them there because they're, let's say, friendlier than some others, or more genuine. But still, you got to kind of approach the concept of we made a mistake, this is wrong, because when he renewed it one time, he didn't scan both items. And I wait a long time. And I kind of wait for him yesterday to know, like, oh man, is it okay if I go now? And he's coming to bring DVDs to me, which is just this big, right? And again, I don't want to criticize this guy specifically. I just want you to know what it's like for me to interact with you. I hope I have enough space to record this here. And I said, oh, can you grab my holes that are there? And he knows because he mentioned he knows I have holes. So just a minute, I'm getting around to it. But, instead of stopping, and when I noticed him going back to get it after he puts a couple of DVDs beside me at the desk, it's not a big distance. It's just ridiculous that you argue. Then I noticed when he got it, the elastics kind of make it hard to pull the items out when, I had 3. But the thing is there was a place right there to also put the discs down, grab it, and come back. Now, if I mention this, and I could mention this with like the most advanced librarian, this kind of silly behavior because the argumentative nature instead of, culture appearing adult nature is just not there. So So the other thing is I return an item that they could criticize. Hey, we spent a lot of money. Well, the thing is go online. And it says there's supposed to be a DVD, not just a Blu-ray with disc. So can you fix it? And it won't be fixed. And even though I didn't take the item, I still see it. I had to cancel it on my account. And when I go days after, I still see it's there as an item I'm supposed to pick up. So that means there's kind of more than one person involved, but I have to do their work for them. And then people would say, and this, I'm going to do a lot of vlogs with, this is the same argument. They would say, oh, you're so good at this. You should do that degree. Get in debt for the rest of your life to do that degree because, we don't want to do the right way. For example, for me to be, let's say, a parole officer or a teacher or a mental health worker, say, Martin, you're already like as successful with the patients or the learners or, the parolees or whatever as us. So you could learn on the job instead of doing this long course or you could learn whatever tiny bit and hopefully we'll learn all the things you could teach us, such as be a life skills coach, because you kind of need that in all these professions. That's just the way it is. It's sad.